Howdy there. I saw Bridesmaids for the second time yesterday, and I had as good a time as I had the first time, maybe more so. I'd happily give it a 9. Laughed from start to finish. You know, laughed from start to finish. So that's really all I need to say. For being comedy, I think it's the best comedy in a while. I haven't sat down and thought of a better one, or at least one that I have laughed at as much. I mean, if you compare it, this was produced by Judd Apatow, directed by Paul Feig, written by Kristen Wiig, and Mumolo, something Mumolo. Also stars Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy. I made sure to remember her name after the first one, or the first viewing. Who else is in there? Maya Rudolph is in there. There are other names. There are lots of faces. You'll know pretty much every face if you pay attention. Names, maybe not so much yet. I'm trying to think of who else is in there. Wilson Phillips. Anyhow, hilarious movie. It's about a woman. Her best friend is has revealed that she's getting married. This, of course, makes Kristen Wiig's character flip out because she has nothing going on in her life. So this sparks a realization that she is in the midst of a midlife crisis. And, you know, she doesn't take it sitting down. In fact, well, she's pretty fantastically self-destructive, which is great for the audience to watch. I might be a little biased here. I think Kristen Wiig is a genius. You know, I think she's brilliant. I can watch her do anything. Anything. Her body, what she does with her body in every scene. You know, she's just different, you know, she's different. You know, her elbows are doing something interesting in every scene. You know, if you ask me. She finds something interesting to do with her physical self at all times. And I think that's incredibly impressive. She also, oh, it just makes me so jealous. I call it, I mean, transitional acting. And all acting is transitional. But even in like little moments, and what I mean by that is you start at one point, and over the course of any amount of time, whether it be a few seconds or over the course of a full scene, minutes, you are in another entirely different place, emotionally. And she does that effortlessly. And she does it quickly. The camera lingers on her face, and you just watch her eyes, and you can see it working. And I think it's tremendous. If you know what to look for, I think Kristen Wiig is a master craftsman, and she's just teaching you right there. So pay attention to her. Again, you know, I don't feel I like to throw the title around or the name around, but I think she may be a genius. I mean, I know she's brilliant, but I think she's a genius. She's, you know, I don't know what else to say. She's fantastic. She carries the film. I think I mentioned in my first review, I would have even bought it if she would have been even more outlandish. And I have no doubt that she delivered on that. But the director did not choose that. But I could have even... I want to see her be a serial killer. You know, I want to see her do everything. I wanted her to see her someone, alcoholic, suicidal person. I want to see her be a vicious serial killer. I think she can do anything, and I can't wait to see her do everything. So that saying that, I could have seen her be even more torn apart. I could have seen her be even more heartbroken, which she is. She hits, you know, tons of emotions in this film. And I bought every single one of them. I would follow her anywhere. I would follow her anywhere. And I hope she's around forever. Melissa McCarthy, the big lady, in a hilarious film, delivers the most hilarious performance. So funny. Everything that, and I mean this, everything that comes out of her mouth in that film, I was laughing at. At some points, you know, even just her facial expressions got me laughing, to where I would miss what the other characters were saying. Or maybe even made me self-conscious as to whether the people sitting next to me were getting pissed because I was laughing so much. Melissa McCarthy is fantastic in this film. I don't really know her. She's from Mike and Molly, the television show. Never saw that. I don't know her. This is my first exposure to her, and she's great. She steals the show. I mean, again, everything she says is hilarious. She talks about falling off a cruise ship and going down to meet a dolphin, and I'm just roaring with laughter. She can do no wrong, and she does no wrong in this picture. A lot of people talk about the wedding fitting scene. I don't want to give it away, but well, maybe I should call it the food poisoning scene. And a lot of people talk about how, or naysayers of the film talk about how it just doesn't fit. And okay, maybe I can agree with that, but really I can't think of a scene to compare that to. I would have to go back to Something About Mary with, you know, the hair gel scene. I think it's just as classic as that. And though the hair gel scene seemed to fit in perfectly with the rest of the film, and maybe, you know, it seems kind of outlandish, and doesn't fit the rest of the tone of the film, because I don't see how they get out of that situation without, I don't know. You know, we don't really see any aftermath of this scene that would ruin people's lives, I would think. So, it does, obviously. It kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, but again, it's hilarious. So, you know, I don't really want to talk down about it. What else? It's just so funny. Again, it's a 9, so I don't really have much to say. I think the 9 speaks for itself. It's just hilarious. Again, I laughed from start to finish. And I laughed loudest probably at the end, which comedies sometimes can fall apart, you know, at the end, where the first third is hilarious, the second third is funny, and then the last third is, okay, you know, they're just trying to wrap it up. Here, you know, again, I thought the last act was as funny as the first. I've heard a lot of people say it's too long. I didn't have a problem with it, you know. I thought it flowed just fine. I don't know what else to say about it other than I loved it. It's the best comedy in recent memory. I mean, I'd have to sit down and think about it. I felt like I think it's better than any of the Apatow films that he did himself. Possibly not, as with the exception of 40-Year-Old Virgin. I thought 40-Year-Old Virgin was quality, you know, it made me think and it made me laugh, but I don't think it was near as hilarious as this film is. Again, I laughed a lot, and loudly. I was going to mention Sideways again. It felt like I was watching, Alexander Payne light. Something that maybe Alexander Payne would have done. Something along that line. It makes me think of Sideways. I didn't think I've had a more intellectually stimulating time and a more hilarious time than I did at Sideways. And then I think of Bridesmaids. So I think good quality, good company for Bridesmaids. I don't really know really what else to say. If you're a fan of comedy, boy, I hope you've seen it already. If you're a fan of Kristen Wiig, then man, you're in for a treat. See the film. Get out to the theater, see it. It's hilarious. I made my parents watch it. My mom liked it, I think somewhat. My dad didn't like it. I mean, he told me he liked it, but when I was talking to my mom alone, she was like, he didn't like it. So, hold on. Hello? Alrighty, I'm on my way. So anyway, see the film. I think you'll enjoy it. It's tremendous. It's a 9, a solid 9. I'm sure it'll show up in my top end, year-end list somewhere in there, because it just can't. It was just far too smart and far too well performed and well written. It's an excellent film. It's Bridesmaids. It's a 9. Thanks.